Welcome to the Beat 139. I'm Doc.
And I'm your host, Don Vito. How you feeling? It's good.
Welcome everyone, I'm Callie, and I would like to welcome our first guest of the night, a good friend of mine, soul sister, all the way from the Boogie Down Bronx, playwright, New York City teacher, Alaina Freeman.
Welcome to the show. What's up, man? How you feeling?
Feeling great today. I'm feeling good.
Great to have you this evening.
I'm happy to be here.
Yes, welcome, beauty. So tell us a little bit about yourself, sis. Tell us how everything started.
Okay, well, my name is Alaina Freeman. I'm a New York City teacher. I began teaching in the Bronx about like 11 years ago. I love kids. I always knew I wanted to be a teacher. But what ended up happening was, right, I got all this education, master's degree, Fulbright scholarship, thinking like, I'm gonna change the world. I'm gonna walk into this classroom, take charge, and just be in control of everything. Only to find out that I was gonna really walk into this new world and the kids were kind of gonna govern everything. Meaning, while I was thinking I'm teaching them, they actually began teaching me. So in having that experience, I began talking to other teachers, and we've been having the similar experience. Whereas, as we're in there thinking that we're trying, we're the educated ones in the room, we actually end up learning more from the students. So when I started having this experience, I'm like, how do I then convey this message? I was always taking acting classes, and so I began writing my show based on teaching in the Bronx.
We have a caller.
Oh.
Caller, how can we help you today?
Hi.
Hi.
Hello, caller. Can you speak?
Hello. I am calling because I have a question for Ms. Freeman. I am an educator as well. I'm just curious to know, like, what made you write this project? What brought it about in the first place?
Okay, so what happened was I was a teacher, right? Like, again, because I teach a different subject now. So I taught special education. I had 22 boys in the room and 3 girls in the room. So with that dynamic alone, the setup was like a setup for disaster. Every day, me and my co-teacher would go home struggling, stressed, couldn't figure out like, how are we gonna teach these kids? It's not even a conducive environment. Like, we could barely speak. Some of them are violent, aggressive, some things they couldn't help. So I was going home stressed out, going to bed at 4 o'clock, very tired, very exhausted. And this one day I had an extremely bad day. I happened to have a writing assignment that day, and I needed to hand it in. Rolled the train and began writing just scenes about what happened throughout the day. When I went to perform it during the class, the people, the way they received it was like an unbelievable story to them, and they kept wanting to hear more. And the audience of that class was Karen Ludwig. She just happens to be Ben Stiller's acting coach, and she made an agreement with me. She was like, I know you're a teacher, and you guys, I'm not sure how you are with money, but it may cost too much for you to have me as a course, but if you can meet me at my house, I can help you develop this into a show instead of it just being scenes. So for 2 years straight, I would just travel from the South Bronx to Bethune and write the show with her.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yes, caller.
We got another caller.
Caller. Hello?
All right, never mind. Let's go to the next question. So, okay, here we go. We got another caller there. Okay, Lane, you popping up.
I'm sorry, I had to ask the question to Ms. Freeman, and I lost the signal somehow. I'm still keeping up.
Now,
We're glad you're keeping up. What's your question?
Hello.
Yes, caller, we're here.
Okay, let's see. Next question. So, what is your students' response to seeing this work, or the parents' response? Like, how do they feel about this?
Well, see, my students haven't got to see the entire play. I did show them a clip last year. They love it. I happen to be a theater teacher now. When I wrote the show, I was a 2nd grade teacher. I happen to be a theater teacher where I teach pre-K through 5th grade. So all day I'm teaching them about art and expression, how to express themselves, how to express their experience. So what I think they get from it is that their teacher is actually a living testimony to, yeah, you can do what you want. You can actually follow your dream. You can still be smart. You can still go to school. You can still be cool, you know? So for me, I feel like it's just an inspiration to them when they come around me and they say things like, I want to be a teacher when I grow up. I know it's a direct reflection of them seeing the way I live my life and what I bring into the classroom. The parents as well. The parents support me. Sometimes they make dinners to support. I have 3 parents that already bought tickets. So I think it created a positive vibe in that particular community.
That's really cool, and it's necessary to have our stories told from different perspectives. And it's bold because, everything is scary when you're an educator. They can get rid of you for any reason. But the kids need to see it, and I'm sure the parents support it as well. So that's great, and I just wanted to thank you for being a real life representation of just who we are as educators and some of the things that we go through.
That's right. That's right. We are the real MVPs. So the whole purpose of the play is to justify our experience. Like, I know we hear a lot of teacher stories where people are showing up and not doing what they need to do for the students, but in my building, in my role where I am, that's not the case. We're taking care of the kids as if they were our own.
Hello, caller.
Yes, I want to ask a question for Ms. Alaina Freeman.
Yes.
Ms. Alaina Freeman, I would like to ask you, what do you see yourself in the future with this movement that you have as far as your acting in your school days?
I'm going to repeat it just because I'm not sure if I heard you. Did you ask me where do I see myself in the future as far as acting and writing screenplays?
Yes. What's your vision with your theater?
So you mean what's my next step after this?
Yes, exactly.
Okay. Well, my next step for me, right now in my mind, I definitely want to take this on and have this message be something where it's relatable in different cities in different states. So I plan on taking this on the road. It's debuting here at the Theater Row. It happened to sell out already. I'm definitely gonna write a book. As far as my acting, I haven't really auditioned for anything else other than the material I wrote. I am in the middle of writing something else called Welcome to 30s. It's like a series about a group of individuals who are friends and they're transitioning into, their 30s, and it touches on, sexual orientation, wanting to have babies and all of that. But for right now, my main focus is the show I'm doing right now.
Okay, that sounds great, Ms. Freeman. I just want to say from Palestine, it's good to see positive black women in our communities doing great things, and I wish you well.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, caller, thanks for calling in. All right, we're gonna hold off on the calls for a little while. We want to talk to Alaina and get into this interview a little bit more. So my question to you is, like you said that the students taught you.
Right.
Can you get more into that?
I can. So, with life, right? So daily we go to work, we have our own problems. I'm a woman, I'm dating, I'm living in New York. So there were things that would be happening in my life where I may feel like, I don't want to get out of bed. Such and such didn't call me, or this didn't go right. And just having these moments for these minor things. Then I walk into my first grade class and I have to say his name. I'm gonna say his name because I still see him and his parents. I meet this kid named Prince, and he comes up to me. He has like a lot of grease in his hair, 6 years old, missing teeth. His shirt is buttoned wrong, and he has like this air freshener, like car freshener, all over him. And I'm like, well, what are you doing? Like, why do you have the morning fresh car freshener in your pocket? Like, he's like, oh, this is my, cologne. And I'm like, what do you mean this is your cologne? Why is the grease here? And he's like, oh, I did my hair this morning. And I'm like, well, what time did you get here? And he was like, I don't know. So I check his book bag and there's nothing in there. So I'm like, well, who walked you to school? And he's like, no one. I'm like, well, how did you know to come? He was like, well, my mom wasn't home. So I knew that when it started to get light, I should probably eat something. So I ate something, got dressed, and then, you tell us that we have to be clean. So then I put on my cologne, and then I waited in front of the building for the aide to open it. Mm-hmm. And in my mind, I'm like, I almost didn't get out of bed to be here because someone didn't call me back. Yeah. And you, in your mind, your mother, who you haven't seen all night, you have the resiliency where you're like, no, this is what I need to do. And at that moment when he said to me, I put on the cologne because you told us we need to dress. I'm like, oh, he's coming for me. I can't do what I'm doing and treat it like a job, whereas if I don't want to go, I'm not going to go, right. Or if I'm upset, I'm going to be upset. Right. He's not showing up because he gets to learn. He's showing up because of what I'm telling him, and right. That changed my whole attitude about it. Now it was no longer a job. It was now these kids. This is their life, right? And they're treating it like that. Most children, me myself, would have stayed home.
Right.
Period. That's just it. It wouldn't have been wrong. It just would have been my thinking as a kid. But that's not what he did. And when he did that, I was like, these 6-year-olds have a little bit more resilience than some of the adults I know.
Right.
So that to me is the whole reason why I feel like they changed my whole perspective. The way they handle life, the way you can watch a kid handle life, the way they see things and it's new and it's fresh. That's how they.
So why he had the air freshener in his pocket?
Because
It's a cologne.
I
a
know, I
cologne,
wanna hear it.
you know, he said,
Freshening up as
he was
he went
freshening
along.
up, yeah. And I thought, and for me, and I'm like, what? It was right here in the pocket.
Shorty was getting fresh for real, huh?
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
Yeah. And how could you not respect that? You know what I mean? How do you not respect that?
Yeah,
I see him
yeah.
to this day. You know, you walk by and come to my room to say hi. He might be in high school. I think he's in high school now. And I remember that kid because he was like a kid where the teacher before him retired because of his behaviors. So when I got him, they're looking like, oh, here he comes. But he was a beautiful kid.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like there was nothing, what was he? You know, he was just living in his environment, trying to survive with no guidance. So yeah, I absolutely am sure he was a children.
So, Ms. Freeman,
Yes,
I wanted to touch on miseducation of Ms. Freeman.
yes.
But before we go into that, I wanted to mention that you were chosen to write history from
Right.
the president. Can you please tell our audience a little bit about that? Because she's like really a fantastic writer. So please let the audience know
Okay.
how you was chosen out of, what was it, like 20 people, like to write history in our school history books, like for our kids that's growing up right now.
That's big.
Please, yes, that is from the president. Can you please tell them how the experience,
Sure.
explain your experience and how that was?
So what she's explaining is a Fulbright scholarship. So a Fulbright scholarship is an international scholarship where the U.S. government pays you to go live in a particular country to learn their government, to learn their education, to learn what works, what doesn't work, so that you can then bring that to this country and teach what worked over there and what did not work. So I was chosen to do a Fulbright. It was myself and 13 other women out of like 100, however many thousand. And we were chosen to write the
13.
welfare of the women in Belize, how the women are thriving. What we noticed in Belize was that while there was every powerful man, the woman was under him. So if he was a top diplomat, the woman was the deputy. If he was, let's say the president, the woman was the vice president. They had an understanding that the women, just the way we are, like how we deal with problems, that they were necessary in keeping the government
Hold on, 1
moving
minute.
forward. And this is a country that relies on their natural
That's
resources,
big, girl.
you know what I
That's
mean?
big, to be
Yes.
chosen for that, very
Yes,
big.
it was wonderful.
No, call up.
Very big situation.
Yes. Is it time to call in?
Yes, it is.
Hi, how you guys doing? This is Kiki.
Hi, Kiki.
Hi, I just wanted to call in and ask Alaina a few questions.
Yes.
Okay, so Alaina,
Yes.
with you being so incredibly intelligent and you being just a powerhouse as a school teacher in the Bronx and dedicating your time to molding the minds of the future, what inspires you to do this play?
Aside from the kids and my experience being in the room, what made me do the play is because I feel like there's a message for teachers as well as the people who are not teachers. My mom is from the South Bronx. My mom is from Hunts Point. My mother's father passed away when she was 12. My mother was left to her like own devices as far as trying to navigate, life. And I feel like I want to be the adult that she probably needed in the room as a kid. I don't know what that was like the way, however she was able to survive, to have her children to then thrive. I want to be the person in the room that for the kids who are anything like my mom, where they're probably having dreams or visions of what they want to do next, that in my room, that they can feel like they actually can. So the purpose of the play is to show that, these things this attitude needs to exist in a school. Like, it's not a job, it's not necessarily just going to get the work done, it's more so like we're like molding lives and handling souls. So the purpose of me doing the show is to show that it's way much more than what you think it is.
And I appreciate that because you're a very attractive woman.
I had the pleasure and honor of attending one of your shows, and I was just blown away because I never thought that I would be able to watch one person do this. But you're amongst the industry greats because how many women, let alone women of color, have done their own one-woman plays?
Look, but that I know of maybe 3 colors and maybe about 4 other women that we may know of, but the festival that I'm in, there are a number of different acts. So I'm not sure as far as the demographics in the show I'm involved in now,
But
but
you're an icon. You're an icon. You're a groundbreaking icon.
thank
right?
you.
Okay, not a problem. And my last question, I don't mean to take up the whole show, the program, guys. How is it being best friends with Lady Luck? I know that you
This is
are
why-
also. I know that she-
This is
Caller,
you know what, caller? I know I know the voice, caller.
Caller, you all right with us,
Listen,
though,
yeah,
caller?
we love you, caller.
Caller.
This is
Okay, Kiki, well, being best friends with Lady Luck is great. I feel like she's a great friend. She definitely encourages me to, to keep going and to put myself out there, so I appreciate that.
All right. Well, we definitely will be in attendance. To me, my name is Kiki. I'll definitely be
Kiki, we love you. You definitely did
You
your
love
research,
me.
Kiki.
Okay,
I
Kiki.
do love you. That's
Thank
our
you so
pleasure,
much,
and
Kiki.
I can't wait to see your play. Hopefully, the host and the rest of the guys there with this wonderful podcast will be in attendance as well.
Yes,
Yes.
yes,
Definitely
We definitely
appreciate
will,
that.
yeah.
yes.
We need you to subscribe and follow us. We got a lot more coming.
No, I definitely will, but you don't go past it. You'll be in attendance at the play, correct?
Absolutely.
That's a fact. That's definitely a fact.
All right, guys. All right. Well, thank you. God bless you all. Thank you for your time, and later keep striving for perfection.
Thank
Thank
you.
Well, have a good day.
Will
Thank you for
do.
calling.
We have a lot of callers today.
I love it.
Man,
I like it.
Off the top.
Good.
So what's
We
your
like that.
process is like when you write?
Well, the process is really, I don't really know if I have a process because it's pretty random. I find that I write better at night after a shower. Something about the water helps. I don't have a set process where it's like, okay, at 9 o'clock I have to write. I actually have to feel it. And the other day I was actually getting upset because there was some edits I needed to do and I couldn't. It wasn't there. Today, for some reason, it was there. So I just took out a napkin and wrote it down. I don't have a set process. It has to be the environment mostly matters, right? So if I'm relaxed, I'm calm, mostly at night, after water or near the water, I can probably produce most of my writing.
I also want to mention, I also seen the last show and it was great. So I'm really hyped up to see what you have coming up. And I wanted to mention, is it hard? Okay, because you go into a lot of different characters,
Right.
lot of different characters. Is it hard fluctuating from one character to the next? Like how do you move so smoothly into the next character and make it so distinct and different?
Well, it isn't necessarily so easy, but because these are real characters, like because I know them, I've met them, I've seen them, I've talked to them, these are real
You just
live people,
dive
I
into
literally am just reenacting them, so I can actually see them in my head. So the whole time it's happening, even their mannerisms, how they maybe hold their pen, like little things that'll switch
Right,
you.
which is
Yeah.
right.
So little things like that, like I'm envisioning it the whole time. The struggle may be the fact that I am literally on the stage alone and the things that I'm saying are not really happening. But because it is my life and it happens, you know how if you're thinking of something, you can replay exactly what happened in your head? I'm doing it at the same time that that the play is happening.
Caller?
Yeah.
Hello, caller?
Yes, hi. Good evening. I'm calling to speak to Miss Alaina Freeman.
Hi.
Hi, I'm calling because I have a quick question. Has your students ever asked you to perform your show at the school, or have they ever asked you for tickets to your show?
At my school?
The students.
Or my students? Of course they ask. The students, they're looking for me on Instagram, they're looking for me on Facebook. Yes, they're asking. There's some of them where who have graduated already, but maybe they're in high school where I would probably welcome them. But most of the kids I teach are from pre-K to 5th grade. Some of the content I talk about, I'm not sure if I would want them to hear that and then come back to work with me. If it's a case where they maybe graduated already and I'm giving my opinion, then that's one thing. But of course, they're asking, yes, texting, however, yeah. Yeah, it's very cute.
Hello, caller?
Yes, Cornell is good.
Yes, caller, how may I?
Hey there.
Hello?
Hello. Hello.
Caller? Caller, we here.
He's our next caller, Doc. All right, so Lena, you doing, you got a lot of calls here. That's a beautiful thing. But I'm gonna ask you a question, right?
Okay.
So, there you go with the number. All right, let it roll. Let it roll.
Hello? Hello? Caller?
Yes, yes, I have a question for Ms. Freeman.
Yes,
Yes.
caller?
Hello, caller.
Yes, yes. Have any of your students asked you for your advice? I know that they look up to you and they're proud of you. Have they ever said that they wanted to like do the things that you're doing now as far as acting?
Yes. So I teach theater, and I just started teaching theater 3 years ago. Like I said, I was a classroom teacher at first. So now that I teach theater, we do 3 shows, 3 productions a year where the kids run it. They decide what they want to do. They decide the rehearsals. They decide the music. We make the set. We do everything hands-on, and it's just me and the students. Yes, I know they love it because there are days where I'm absent and my colleagues will take pictures of the kids sitting outside my door. Like even your quietest kid that you don't think wants theater wants it. Your roughest kid that thinks he doesn't want it loves it. You know? So yeah, they do come to me and let me know how much they love it. They absolutely do.
Well, thank you for your time and thank you for doing the great things that you do for our students for the future. We appreciate you, Ms. Freeman.
Thank you.
Thank you, caller.
Hello?
Yeah, this is Cornell. I'm just calling in to tell you I'm really proud of her.
Oh, thank you.
It takes a lot of courage to go put on a one-woman play on Broadway. She's very talented and very beautiful, and sky's the limit. This is really much fun.
Thank you. Thank you. Love you too.
Make sure that y'all know y'all got a star right there.
Thank you. Love you too.
All right?
All right.
Thank you so much, caller.
All right.
Yes, this is what I like to see. They
They're
get
not
these calls
playing.
in because
They're not playing.
this is different. You know, this is really different, Ms. Freeman, because first of all, you're a school teacher. Not only a school teacher, you're creating your whole play, your whole theater, and you're acting out many characters. So this is something to talk about. This is definitely something to talk about.
Thank you.
So can you get a little bit more into the whole act and how everything is going to be rendered, just to let them know what they're going to be in store for?
Sure. So in the play, I am playing multiple characters. At the beginning of the show, it's like you come into a setting as if you are trying to become a teacher. So I'm talking to you as if I'm a trainer, about to train you how to become a teacher. Then you get a glimpse of what it's like as the training. So I then show you what it's like on my first day walking in the room. I then show you the people that I met, you know, the people that are sent to help me, whether they helped or not. And then I show the different interactions with the kids. Some of it is the perspective of the kid or the parent, where I become the kid or the parent talking, giving my perspective of the teacher. And then a lot of it is the perspective of the teacher, what she's experiencing, even with her friends. You know, because as a teacher, you know, things, you become this, it's just different. Even the way I talk normally like a teacher. Sometimes it's offensive to people because I'm so used to having to give directions or to be clear,
right.
yeah, or break things down. And so when I'm in that mode, it's a struggle for, you know, the normal people I'm around, you know, adults. So in the show, you kind of see the struggle where all I want to do is get it right.
Right.
So you watch this teacher, all she wants to do is get it right, and she just has these issues in trying to get it right, you know. But
So you playing multiple parts to show your acting skills, or you ain't have no one to fill in parts?
I played the multiple parts because the particular class that I was in was just for a one-person show. So John Leguizamo kind of started, well, let me not say started because there was probably someone before him, but John Leguizamo, Whoopi Goldberg, and Sarah Jones had started this lane of these one-woman shows where now you can get your Emmys and your nominations, where instead of you performing productions like Chicago and these other stories, you can tell yours. So the whole purpose was to always do the one-woman show and to play all of the characters.
So the characters, so how many characters altogether?
It's about 13.
13 characters.
Yeah, but well, some of them don't talk long. You know, some of them are in and out. The one main character you'll constantly see is Miss
Do they have
Freeman.
like description or name of the 13 characters?
No, because they're kids, so they're kids responding to me, parents coming in responding to me,
Right.
security guards that work there. You get to see some of the people that work there, other teachers, security, principal. So it's them talking, but it happens in a day. So while you're watching something happen, something changes, and then you'll get to see the other role being played.
Oh, okay.
It's very, very, very interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, we got.
So how do you think technology today influences theater rights?
How do I think technology? Well, first of all, we absolutely need it. You know what I mean? I feel like it's a great influence. Like for me, in doing my show, I rely on the technology as far as like my backdrop. So there's a lot of things where I'm trying to show images of the kids or what they're doing. And the only way to do that would be using technology, like using, what is it that we use? She calls it, I don't even know the name of it. It's something like a projector, but it actually can go like on a wall and it actually can look live. I don't really know the name of it, but I think technology has a big influence, like even the sound.
Right.
So I need school bells to ring, you know, like
Right.
it just helps with the production,
Make
just to
it feel
create the
that you're
vision.
there, right.
Right, yep, just to create the vision more.
You said you sold out the event already?
I did, yep, twice. So I sold it out twice, and for this show coming up on the 9th, I have 5 tickets to raffle. But that was the tickets that were given to me from the theater. But yes, the show was sold out on October 9th.
Wow.
I know, that's what I said. I said the same thing.
But you know,
Like,
this is
what?
not even to be amazed because every time you do this show, you sold out.
Yes.
So this is, and you're just doing bigger theaters, getting bigger and bigger theaters.
But I'm a
because
teacher.
You always need more seats.
Right.
You needed more seats last time.
Right.
You know, so this is really great, and I'm excited to see it again because I mean, every time I do see it, you always put a different touch to it and a different swing on it. So, I mean, I'm really excited to see it. Like,
That's the thing I'm learning about with artists. Like as a teacher, I know how to get something done, like do this and do that. But as an artist, it's never done. I literally was writing more yesterday, and they're like, stop. You're supposed to be practicing Saturday. This is it, learning. I'm like, well, nope, I didn't like it. It's like, it's never good enough. You're never done, and you're just always like, you know, recreating it. So
Want
even when you
more,
come
right?
now, it's different. Like, you just want more, because you're like, if I did that, let me do this. It could be better, it could be clearer, you know?
But you just made a statement, I'm a teacher.
Right, so for me, meaning that, so a teacher, right, there's a certain way we think, right? We get a curriculum, we're told this is what it looks like, we do it, and we want it back like that.
Yeah.
The stuff in between gets kind of scary, you know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
just like, this is what it should be, and this is what it is. Whereas an artist, it's none of that, you're kind of creating it, so everything is from scratch. There is no rule, there's nothing here that's saying I'm doing it right. So it's only like my own thoughts, or my own confirmation. There's no one said, hey, do this show,
Right.
talk about teaching. That's a good point, like no one's doing that to me,
Right.
but as a teacher, I get that. Say this, do this right now. But as an artist, it's none of that. It's just what I'm thinking, what I'm feeling, and if it makes sense. So yeah, you struggle with that. Like, is it good? Because it's yours.
Right.
You know, until you get the opinion of others. You know, then you're like, oh, it is good.
especially
No.
when you're an educator. So I know you're rough on yourself because you educate. So
Right.
when you educate and you writing on your own paper, your own thoughts and putting everything together, it's like, you know what, I can do something better. You know,
It has to be
Keep
perfect.
going.
Right.
It's something new.
It's
by
never
the
right.
second, you know?
Right. Has to be perfect. You're right. Has to be perfect.
So how did your family feel about it once you told them you was getting into the theater and you just wanted to start switching over and doing a little bit of both? Like, what was their response?
They loved it. It was a great response. It's funny, my father, who most recently passed, I remember telling him about it. He was like, at first he was like, oh, why would you want to do that? You know, why do you want to do theater? That's too much work. And then he thought about it and he was like, well, you know, if you do it, tell the truth. He was like, you know, I know you like to help or you like to be, you know, do these things, but you have to be honest. So if you're gonna go on stage and talk about your experience as a teacher, don't go on there and just say, oh, we love the kids and we teach, because that's not the truth. You know, the truth is there's a lot more going on, and just be honest with it. So they were very, very, very supportive. I have my sister sitting here. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, me, myself, personally, I'm happy for you, myself.
Thank you.
Because, you know, I know you for a while.
Yeah.
I think I know you longer than her, maybe.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And,
I might
You were
owe
always
this,
a great
I
teacher.
might
You were
owe
always
this
a
little muscle
Yeah, right,
to
right.
this guy right here.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? This little muscle
Personal
right
training
here.
and all that. We did all that stuff. Yes,
Yes,
we did.
yes. I might owe you that, you know?
You might
You
owe
didn't
me
take it
couple.
easy. You didn't take it easy
Nah,
on
not
these
at
guys,
all.
okay?
I should bust them up.
I'm
bro.
talking about not, yeah, I used to be like, please, no, okay? It was great times though.
Used to go
Great
in
times.
there.
Yes,
Yeah,
great
used to go
times.
in.
You know,
But you've always been a great person, as far as
Thank
I
you.
know. Even though you're an exceptional teacher and you did great things, you know, with your career. But for me to hear that you went to that,
The Fulbright?
yeah, you know, as a playwright, you know, and all those great things I hear about you, I'm not amazed, but I'm happy, like, because when I heard it, I didn't know it first.
Right.
And somebody kept saying, you know, Alaina, show me a picture. I said, I know her, man. That's my homegirl right there. You can't introduce me to somebody I already know. But I'm just proud that you're doing it. I don't even want to steal your show. It's all about you. But I'm
No,
just happy
thank
for you.
you,
For real.
thank you, I appreciate that.
And,
I
and
appreciate
you
that.
always had that look.
Thank
You're
you,
beautiful.
Thank
You've always
you.
been gorgeous.
Thank
You ain't
you.
changed a bit.
thank you, I
You know,
appreciate
so
that.
God is good.
Good, yes, God is good, all the time.
Exactly.
All the time.
All the time.
Exactly.
Yeah, but
So
I'm
what's
happy
next?
to be here. What's next to me? So
Yeah.
hopefully, let me not say hopefully, because it's happening. I'm definitely taking the show to different cities. Like, I don't necessarily want it to just be like a New York City thing, because it's a relatable thing. Even though it's the experience of a New York City teacher, I can talk to a teacher in Texas and they have that kid or that parent. So I definitely want to take it on the road and not just make it a New York City thing. And I also want to create like a little book guide that goes with it, like, you know, for new teachers. You know, even if it's just talking to the white teachers, because, you know, that's a thing. You know, how to teach our kids, like something like a little manual that you can kind of have to reference, because you're alone in that room. So my next step would be to take this and to continue to perform it in other cities.
And what advice would you give other children and kids that's coming up who wants to be in your shoes and do the same thing that you do?
Well, see, that's the thing. Kids naturally have it. It's more so the adults, right? So the kids naturally have it. They naturally have ideas, and they are so crazy that they actually think they can do them.
Right.
You know, like, so they'll come up, oh, we want to make slime, and they will go get the stuff. They'll make the slime.
Right.
They'll, you know, they come with their own stuff. So it's not so the kids themselves they have that in them. It's the adults that lose that want or that thing where it's like, I wanted to do that, but no, they find a reason. Right. Or they're drained, or life has happened, things are not the same, whatever the reasons are. Kids though, I don't really have to talk to them. I'm like, guys, we're doing the show. They come, you should see them. I give them a packet, their little papers filled out, and I'm like, in my mailbox, they don't miss a direction.
Yeah.
And that's how you know it has nothing to do with whether they get it or not, it's what they want to do or not. When they want it,
They go for it.
I sit back with my little juice, one is the monitor, one is this, one is that. I'm just managing. They know what they want to do, you know? It's more so the adults that I would feel like. Even a teacher today in a meeting, she struggled. She was like, well, I used to have passion, and after teaching, I don't. Like, that type of thinking, that type of person might need to know, it's still there.
Right.
You just decided, you know.
Right. To
it's
go with it.
Right, right.
You don't put your stuff online?
I haven't put any part of the show online, because I was thinking of doing that. Like, someone kept telling me, oh, you should put skits up. I most likely will make separate skits for it, but I don't put it online because it's an experience. So when you're in there, I want you to think that you're actually in the school. I don't want you to watch it so far-fetched. Theater is so much feeling. Like, I could easily tape it, probably say, go somewhere and have them maybe show it online and just simply do it like that. But theater, having to physically go, to come to see the show and to be there, you have to leave feeling like something. And it's the whole interaction. I could feel the audience. Like the other show, the lights didn't work for the front row, and usually the lights on the front row are the most important because they block the front row out so that you can't
Dim
see
it out,
the
right.
faces of the people.
Or the
Well,
shadows.
okay, that didn't happen, and then we had to add an extra row so the seats were then closer to me, so I could see people in their face, like, and feel them, and I'm like, oh my God, and that kind of throws you, oh my God, it throws you off of it, you know what I mean? But you could feel them. I could feel that they were with me, so it's like that. So the video, that could work. I would probably do more skits to promote it, but as far as seeing the show, you have to physically feel this, babe. Okay? You got to feel it. You got to feel it. Yeah, you can't
So
just...
you got 13 characters.
Yes.
Can you do one of the characters?
Oh my God.
The one that you think is like the most exciting character.
Oh.
Anyone you want to do.
The one battle that I think is the most exciting would be, there are like two that are the most exciting for me,
Let me see
right?
if it's gonna be one of my faves.
Oh my God. Okay,
Let's see.
there are like two that are my favorite, and the one battle that is my most favorite is La Sonia. And the
That's
reason
my
that I
girl.
love La Sonia is because La Sonia wears her red lipstick, and she don't take no shit. She don't take no shit from the teachers, from the principal, from the kids. She don't take no shit from nobody. And she don't care about Miss Freeman with her cute little self coming in the building. She don't play that shit, okay? So I love.
She don't play
Sonia.
games, mama?
She don't play no games. She don't play no games.
Oh, man.
No games. Nope. I love her. And she's a real live person. And I
Right.
saw her today. And she will be at the show. And I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm pointing her out. I love her. She was the wildest lady in the building. Let me tell you what she did to me. My first day, I'm like, oh, Miss Sonia, nice to meet you. Because I'm excited.
Right.
Green,
Yeah.
dummy. Oh, so happy to meet you. They told me to get supplies from you.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. I don't care who you think you are. Don't come in here. I'm like, oh, excuse me.
Yeah.
Little short lady,
Yeah.
Spanish. Cuss you right out and
Uh-huh.
keep her lipstick on.
Oh,
I'm like,
shit.
so one day I said to her, you're not gonna be cussing me out with your lipstick in place. You know, like, what are you doing? Oh, whatever. But you know, I understood her. People would be like, how are you nice to her? She's such a bitch. You know what I mean? And she
Yeah.
knows it. She'll say, oh, no, don't come over here. I'm a bit, you know, she knows it.
Yeah.
But that's not what I got from her. This is what I got from her. This is a woman, right? She was a teacher's aide. She knew everything in the building. She was the first one there and the last one out. She's the one who let Prince in and was able to come to tell me this is his third time showing up here in the morning. Her, right? And then in the morning, we be making coffee. When she was absent, there was no coffee. And I remember flipping, where's the coffee? What's going on? They're like, Sonia didn't bring it. I'm like, Sonia brings the coffee? Sonia brings the coffee, the sugar with her own money. Nobody's giving her money, not the principal, no one. And she has her everything. If I have a headache, oh, Sonia, I got a headache. Okay, this is your last time. You better not call me again. She hang up, but you got your medicine. Oh, I got allergies. This is your last time. You know, like she was like that. So I'm like, y'all thinking she's a bitch. She's not. She cares the most.
Right.
And she cares
She has
more
to
than
be a little
anybody
extra
here.
stirred,
So
right,
she's
right.
so tough because she's looking at our behaviors and she didn't like when you did that and she don't like when you did that because in her mind she's doing so much. How could you be complaining? She's not a bitch. She's just not feeling it, you know?
Right.
So her character was so complex to me because at first I thought she was a bitch too. I'm like, this bitch, making me no supplies. And she's rude every day. I would be like, oh, I need copies. Send your paper down for copies. I would be like, send my paper down, Sonia? Yes. But then I started to see her. I'm like, no coffee, no Sonia, no headaches. Anything we needed, we could call her, she could get it. Not one other person in the building could do that. First one in, last one out. She knew everything. So even when she would be in her moods and want to tell me about myself, hey, excuse me, who you think you are? And da 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 da. I'm like, yeah, thanks. Because I could go off on her in that moment of, don't talk to me like that. But I know what she's feeling like. So her character to me, it
She's
started
real.
with her. Oh yeah.
She's real.
And I saw it today. I was like, I hope you're ready. And she's ready. She knows.
Yeah.
I was like, and everyone in the building that saw it was like, Sonia, wait till you see yourself. And she's smiling like, I can't wait. I'm like, who can't wait to see how ridiculous they were to people? You can't wait to see that? And she was like, I can't wait. I'm like, good. Red lipstick on. She's retired now. Older woman, Spanish, but she's like, didn't take no shit. Walking around. I'm like, I gotta listen to her.
So can you let everybody know when your show is again? It's coming
Yes,
up?
it is coming up October 9th. That's Wednesday, and it's at 3:30. It's actually geared towards teachers, that particular show, because they scheduled it during Yom Kippur, which is the day that we all have off. After that show, there will be another show. I just don't have the dates for it yet.
Where's it gonna be at again?
Theater Row on 42nd Street. Let me say that again. The world's famous Theater Row on 42nd Street.
So can you get in your social media links?
I sure can. I have a couple of them. My social media link for the show is at the Miss Education of Miss Freeman, and Miss Freeman is MSFREEMAN. And then my personal one is Cherry Lane, because I'm hiding from the kids, guys. I am hiding. So it's a totally different name that they won't recognize, and it's Cherry Lane. It's CHERELAYNE. And then another one that is kid friendly, in case they want to find me, and it's Miss Alaina, and it's MSALAINA. There's a lot of ways to
Can you
find me.
tell them what podcast show you on?
I am on The Beats. 139.
Here it is. Thank you very much. Thanks for coming to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Miss, and you heard it,
Coming
Miss
to the show.
Education of Miss Freeman. Make sure you see it. Don't miss
Let
it.
me ask you a
Don't miss
question.
it.
Where's that school at that you teach?
That school is on Freeman Street.
Yeah, I want to come over. I want to meet the kid with the air freshener. You know,
You
that's
should.
a cool little
There's
joke.
so many of them. So many of them.
All right, thanks for coming to the
Thank
show.
you for having me.
Thank you.